Elon Musk just did something that defies every rule of modern politics. He's not leading an army. He's not staging a coup. He's using something far more powerful, his phone. Right now, Britain's prime minister is watching his authority crumble. Not because of voters or parliament, but because one man with over 200 million followers decided he's had enough. And here's the frightening part. It's working. Before your eyes, the British government is unraveling in real time. What you're witnessing isn't just a scandal. It's the blueprint for a new kind of power. Because if this succeeds, every world leader should be terrified. Musk has just proven that in 2025, revolutions don't need armies, only influence, reach, and timing. If you want to understand how the future of power is shifting right now, stay tuned. What happens next could redefine democracy itself. It began on July 29, 2024, in Southport, England, a small town that suddenly became the center of national grief. During a Taylor Swift-themed dance class, 3 innocent children lost their lives. B.B. King, age 6, Elsie Stanholm, 7, Alistair Silver-Aguiar, 9. Their names echoed across Britain as the country fell into mourning. But grief didn't stay pure for long. Within hours, misinformation flooded social media. False claims about the attacker's identity spread like wildfire, and soon sorrow turned to rage. Protests erupted, cities burned, and the government's response? A crackdown, swift and severe, not just against rioters, but against ordinary citizens online. Over 400 people were arrested in a matter of weeks. That's around 30 people every single day, punished for sharing posts, not violence. And this is where Britain crossed into dangerous territory. Meet Denise Borth, 55 years old, from Cheshire. Police raided her home at dawn. Her crime? Reposting something that was already circulating online. No threats, no hate speech, just a share button, and now she faces prison. Then there's Peter Lynch, a 61-year-old grandfather. He joined a peaceful protest. No assaults, no vandalism, no chaos, but he was arrested anyway, denied bail, and sent to jail. 8 weeks later, Peter Lynch was found dead in his cell. He had taken his own life. And while that was happening, real criminals were getting lighter sentences. One convicted child abuser, 18 months. A man who wrote 8 words on Facebook, "Don't come to Southport." 20 months in prison. That's when Elon Musk saw an opening. He didn't lobby politicians. He didn't fund a campaign. He launched a digital war, one post at a time. Musk didn't send letters or lawyers. He sent tweets. One phrase hit harder than any headline: Soviet Britain. He called out a government that jails citizens for opinions while ignoring real criminals. And the British establishment, they tried to shrug it off. But when the man with the world's largest megaphone speaks, you can't ignore him. Within hours, Musk turned Britain's domestic crisis into a global spectacle. He posted receipts, court documents, arrest reports, government statements, broadcast to hundreds of millions across the world. Suddenly, the UK justice system was under an international microscope, and it didn't look good. Officials scrambled. Police called him a liar. There were even discussions about extraditing Musk. Yes, arresting the world's richest man for criticizing their government online. The irony was deafening. But then, Musk dropped what many are calling the digital nuclear bomb, a revelation that ripped open one of Britain's darkest buried scandals. Between 1997 and 2013, organized grooming gangs terrorized towns across England. In Rotherham alone, at least 1,400 children were abused, and experts estimate the real number nationwide could exceed 100,000. Rotherham, Rochdale, Telford, Newcastle, Oxford, Derby. The same story repeated. Children as young as 11 raped, drugged, and trafficked. Some were threatened with fire, others forced to watch younger victims suffer. And the worst part, authorities knew, police knew, social workers knew, local politicians knew, and stayed silent because they were afraid of being called racist. That's not speculation. It's in the official reports. And here's where it hits home. During those years, the man now leading Britain, Prime Minister Keir Starmer, was in charge of prosecutions nationwide. From 2008 to 2013, he served as Director of Public Prosecutions, running the very system that looked away. Under his leadership, cases were dropped, victims were labeled unreliable, and justice was delayed or denied for thousands. When Musk exposed this, he didn't hold back. He drew a direct line between past negligence and present abuse of power. He accused Starmer of choosing political safety over protecting children. That single post ignited a firestorm. Global media couldn't ignore it anymore. Questions buried for over a decade were suddenly being asked again, in Parliament, in newsrooms, and in living rooms across the world. Elon Musk wasn't just exposing corruption. He was executing a strategy. a three-part campaign that would shake the foundations of British politics. Step 1. Use his massive platform to amplify every government failure, every wrongful arrest, every double standard, every hidden scandal. He made sure the world saw it. Day after day, Britain's injustices trended globally. Step 2. Quietly signal support for opposition parties. 1. In particular, Reform UK began surging in the polls. Its leader, Nigel Farage, started appearing beside Musk at international events, sending a message without saying a word. Step 3. Leverage his powerful network. His friendship with Donald Trump, his control of Starlink, and his ability to move markets with a single post. When Musk picks a side, geopolitics shifts. By December 2024, Musk crossed a historic line. He publicly urged King Charles to dissolve Parliament and call new elections. It was something that hadn't happened against a sitting government's will since 1834. If the king followed through, it would trigger a constitutional earthquake. And then came the post that changed everything. Sometimes democracy needs a reset. When governments jail citizens for tweets while protecting predators, normal politics has failed. That post erupted across the internet. Within hours, #DissolveParliament was the #1 trend worldwide. Ordinary citizens began researching constitutional laws most had never heard of. The pressure on Downing Street became impossible to contain. As Musk's influence grew, the cracks in the system widened. Reform UK's popularity surged. Starmer's approval ratings collapsed to record lows. Even members of his own party started whispering that maybe, just maybe, they'd gone too far with censorship and arrests. The government tried to fight back. They painted Musk as a foreign agitator, a self-serving billionaire meddling in British democracy. They called him a racist, a megalomaniac, an agent of chaos. But every accusation backfired. Each time they struck, Musk answered with receipts, court files, official statements, statistics straight from government databases. They couldn't disprove him because the facts were public and undeniable. This was no longer a feud between a tech mogul and a prime minister. It had become a global experiment in power. Could a government still control the narrative when one man with a phone could expose it all to the world? This wasn't just about Britain anymore. It became a warning shot to every government on Earth. Leaders from Berlin to Brussels, from Washington to Canberra, all watching nervously. Because if Elon Musk could destabilize a G7 nation without tanks, what stopped him, or anyone, from doing it again elsewhere? We were witnessing something unprecedented in human history, a private citizen using a digital platform to challenge a sovereign government, and winning. For centuries, power flowed downward from the state to the press to the people. Now it was reversing. The megaphone belonged to whoever could command attention, and Musk had mastered that art. State media, official statements, and PR spin, none of it could compete with the speed of a viral post. When evidence spreads faster than denial, truth becomes the new weapon. And governments? They can't bury failure anymore. Britain's establishment learned that the hard way. They tried to control the narrative. They tried to silence the critics. But when the crowd holds the camera, you can't hide. Not anymore. Now, as the calendar flipped to 2025, the tension only grew. Every week brought new leaks, new revelations, new polls, and each one painted a darker picture for the government. Starmer looked cornered. The opposition grew bolder. The world was watching, and the question was no longer about politics. It was about power itself. Because this battle, this digital showdown, isn't really Elon Musk versus Keir Starmer anymore. It's a fight for who controls truth in the 21st century. Can a government still silence dissent when every citizen carries a global broadcast device in their pocket? Can a nation still hide corruption when exposure is just one retweet away? On one side, a prime minister once accused of ignoring child victims, now arresting citizens for social media posts. On the other, the world's most influential private citizen with a direct line to the White House and a platform that can't be shut down. The stakes couldn't be higher, because whoever wins this fight defines power for decades.